I've made 2 videos on this before, and here's a third and likely final one. Let's hop straight into it. We got 2 notices, one from the Chinese official account and one from the global official account. Let's start with China first. According to translations, everything we talked about in the second video has been restated in an official capacity. The skin gacha is not going away, but it will be less predatory. The only new stuff we learned is that Jinyu will be reworked into a support. The Project Neural Cloud collab will be on September 9th. Platoons is getting a new game mode soon, and Boundary Push and PvP are getting major reworks. To be honest, I wish they would just remove PvP entirely. I don't know anyone that actually cares to grind that mode. Next up is the global devlog, and this is actually pretty important. For context, during the Chinese meeting, the players did bring up that global players are extremely concerned about the practices and lack of communication for the game, especially when the Springfield event was accelerated with no compensation. Apparently, Mika team did not realize they stepped into shit here, so the very first thing they talked about on their devlog is complete and utter confirmation that yes, they are going to accelerate the events with the goal of putting global and China on the same patches. They have fully abandoned the idea of keeping global a year behind, and the reason for this is because they want all audiences to experience the story at the same time. They did not specify their timeline on this, but they did say it's a long-term plan and they will compensate for any lost days. We will come back to this. They also reiterated all the concerns about the crew deck and stated that it will be the refined, less predatory version. The crew deck is being localized right now, but we should be getting it pretty soon. They've also heard loud and clear that Gunsmoke Frontline is ass, so they let us know that a new mode is coming soon to pretty much replace it. Until then, they're going to make Gunsmoke Frontline easier to score high with auto battle and make team planning easier. Also, dailies are looking to be simplified, which, to be honest, I personally never found to be a problem. It's really just PvP, platoons, and boundary push being added on top of that, which makes it tedious. But dailies being shorter does give more time to play those hardcore modes that global doesn't have yet, and I can say up front that these hardcore modes will actually take a few hours to complete. It's also a good idea to bring in the hardcore modes ahead of schedule, because right now there's really nothing to do in the game once you complete the boss trials. Heroic difficulty for the story mode is actually very poorly designed right now. It is definitely harder and definitely challenging, but it's designed in a way that if you don't have specific units, then you have a way harder time than you would with that unit. So it's extremely imbalanced right now, and in my opinion, it's not very fun. But that and the other modes on top of that does give a veteran account a good workout. So hopefully they make heroic difficulty more fair before bringing it into global. That's it for the news. First, let me talk about the commitment to making global catch up to China. This is a huge plus for me. I know this is ultimately a matter of taste, but I've always hated the idea of any gap between regions. Spoilers is a huge reason for that, but it's also just because there's no hype for anything at all. If we know what's coming, then what's the point of watching any trailers or broadcast? And even if you're avoiding story spoilers, there's no avoiding any character announcements. You also can't test out the units because they've already been tested out. Personally, planning out your pools and saving money is the only reason to play global, and that's not good enough for me. And let's be real here, they're also accelerating global purely because it would make more money for them. But let's get into the heart of this whole thing. Bottom line, the skin gacha is staying, but it is going to be overall cheaper. The biggest advantage we got here is the purple skins will be purchasable. Kukai's bikini skin will remain in the gacha, so you will still need to interact with the gacha for the featured skin, and that was to be expected. I said this before and I'll say it again. Removing the skin gacha would have been awesome, but that was even less likely than all 500 dolls from Ghost Frontline 1 becoming playable in Ghost Frontline 2. The skin gacha becoming less predatory was the next best thing, and in my opinion, we got that, even though I still think it's pretty damn terrible. This leads to the question of if the threat of boycott is still happening or not. Well, I'm going to be honest. It looks like some players from the Platoon Alliance actually impersonated people who were selected by Mika Team to get into that meeting. Then start spreading false information like they got some special information and established a relationship between themselves and official staff. They also said some other crazy stuff in their post. Like apparently they said that there's some group who were sending death threats to them. So it overall got really out of hand and really out of control. As of this morning, Mika Team called this out and they got banned. So in short, no one is really taking the CN Alliance seriously anymore, and nothing is really happening. At this point, it is completely on me on what to do next. As you guys might know, I made 2 Twitter posts venting about my gripes with Ghost Frontline 2. Long story short, I said Ghost Frontline 2 has no sauce, while Ghost Frontline 1 and Reverse Collapse does. The only thing keeping me going is my deep adoration of the story. Well, I actually lied a little. It's not just because of the story, it's also because of you guys. I'm going to be real, and I'm going to be parasocial for a moment. I never thought my channel would get as big as it is now by making Girls Frontline content. It's like actually landing that dream job, and it's everything you ever imagined. I legitimately don't want to abandon that. I will continue making videos for other games because it is pretty fun to dabble in those, but my main content will always be Ghost Frontline. As for the skin gacha, I just won't ever spend money on it. That was my plan in the first place. The most dangerous thing they can do to me is if they put Ulrid in a sports bra doing yoga, but I still wouldn't spend money on it, I promise. Now, I won't blame you if you decide to quit or take a break and then come back after a year or two. That's all perfectly reasonable. I just personally love making content and I don't ever want to stop. So I hope you all continue down this journey with me for the years to come.